Hi, everybody. This is David with Trinity Focus Ministries. Today's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. And today I have a topic, and it's about the resurrection. So I've got a couple notes, and I got my Bible, and so let's talk about it. First of all, the resurrection is very important because it it proves that Jesus is God and that He had the power to raise himself from the dead. If he if uh, if he was a false prophet or just a regular person, he would have never had the power to do this. And um, first thing I'm going to read is out of the book of John, and this is um, basic. This is chapter 11, verses 25 and 26, and it says, Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? So he's saying, Jesus is the resurrection. Believe in him, and you will have life. So, in this passage, Jesus was talking to Martha, and that was when he raised Lazarus from the dead. But you know, Jesus was crucified and he was raised on the third day, and that is a resurrection. That is why we celebrate Easter. Um, and so the next thing I want to read is it's in the Bible. Of course it's Matthew, and it is the chapter 28, verse 1 through 10. I'm going to read the whole, it's called the resurrection of Jesus. So it says, in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven, and came and rolled back the stone from the door, and sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him the keepers did shake, and became as dead men. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen. As he said, Come, see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre, and with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, All hail! And they came and helped him by the feet, and worshipped him. Then said Jesus unto them, Be not afraid, go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. So, basically they were going there. They were gonna, they were going there to bring incense and stuff like that, and what they found was not what they expected. Basically, the stone was rolled away, and he wasn't there. And then they saw the resurrected Jesus, which I'm sure was amazing. But the thing is, after that, the fact that they are the first ones to see it is relevant, because if anybody was going to make up a story like this, they would have never used women to make up the story, because back then it wasn't like today. They didn't they would have used a man, because women were, they didn't even count them when they counted people. So, and then um basically right after that, in the same chapter, it goes on to talk about the bribing of soldiers. So I'll read that real quick. This is the same chapter 28, and this is verses 11 through 15. And it says, "Now when they were going, behold, some of the watch came into the city, and showed unto the chief priest all the things that were done. And when they were assembled with the elders, and had taken counsel, they gave large money unto the soldiers, saying, Say ye, his disciples came by night, and stole him away while we slept. And if this come to the governor's ears, we will pursue him and secure you. So they took the money, and did as they were taught. And this saying is commonly reported among the Jews until this day." So, this is important too, because the last thing the chief priests wanted was people to realize that Jesus, well, first of all, the body was gone, and that Jesus had risen. So they came up with the story and paid the guards to say that the disciples stole the body, which is ridiculous, because the disciples had no reason to steal the body, nor the ability. They couldn't go. I mean, the tomb was guarded, for one thing, and at this time the disciples were fleeing. They were afraid that they were facing the same fate. So basically, for them to steal the body is ridiculous, but that's the story they came up with. And it proves that the body was gone, and that it just helps prove the case for the resurrection, because even his enemies were saying, "Whoa, what happened to the body? We can't let this information get out." So they decided to pay the guards to make up this story. So, and then and then I'm gonna read one more thing real quick, and this is out of the book of Luke, because this, in the book of Luke, it also talks about the resurrection, but I'm not going to read the whole thing on this one. I'm just going to read a couple verses. This is chapter 24, verse 6 through 7, and it says, "He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of a sinful man, and be crucified, and the third day rise again." So Jesus said that he was going to do this, that he was going to be crucified, and that he would rise again on the third day. So by him being resurrected on the third day, he fulfilled what he said he was going to do. And that's basically, it's very important, because if, like I said in the very beginning of this video, if he didn't rise from the dead, then they would make him a false prophet, but since he did, it disproves that how real it is. So, and then he appeared to, first of all, both Marys, and then he ended up appearing to lots of people. I'm going to read right now out of the book of Corinthians. And in this book, it also talks about the resurrection. But I'm just going to read, and this is in chapter 15. It's called The Resurrection. But I'm just going to read verses 4 through 8. And it says, "And that he was buried, and that he rose again on the third day according to the scriptures. And that he was seen of Cephas, and then the 12. After that he was seen above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep. After that he was seen of James, then all of the apostles, and last of all he was seen of me also, as of one born out of due time." This was St. Paul that was talking, but basically he appeared to both Marys, then the apostles, then over 500 eyewitnesses at once. And that is strong evidence of the of that this really happened. So if I were to talk to an atheist and try to convince him about how real God is, I would use the resurrection, because it is basically the fact that it's documented history with over 500 eyewitness accounts that saw the same resurrected Jesus. And it's proof that we worship a living God, not an idea. This is documented history. So the fact that that he was resurrected on the third day is what Christianity is its foundation, basically, and that's what the whole movement of Christianity is built on, is the resurrection of Jesus. And it proves that that we follow Christ, which is built around fact and truth, not just basically some idea. It's a fact. It's well documented, and it proves that we put our faith in a living God, and that He has the power to even conquer death. So that's why I believe that the resurrection is one of the most important events in all history, for especially for the Christian, because it proves that we put our faith in something that's documented in history that really happened. So I hope you guys have a good Easter, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a blessed day.